Harper blasted 3 home runs yesterday in a 9-4 Phillies win over the Braves. And finally, the numbers are in. Iowa's 94-87 victory over LSU averaged 12.3 million viewers for ESPN, the largest TV audience for a women's basketball game in history. Hey, DQ fans, they've got the deal of the century for you. Download the DQ app and buy one, get one free Blizzard treats. Just like that, you can get any 2 Blizzard treats for the price of one, only at participating DQ locations. Happy tastes good.
Perfect. Welcome to hell, bitches. Happy Wednesday to those who celebrate. Big Rich TD and Fletch with you on a heavy Wednesday. We're going to start blasting your ears off with, I don't know, Slayer, maybe a little Cradle to the Grave.
That's right. It's royalty-free Slayer, so it's going to be just like Slay-R.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We're just going to slay here. This is amazing. I had no idea that this was in the royalty-free catalog, but we are raging this morning. We feel like everybody needs a little lift, a little boost, a little something to lighten the load, especially if you stayed up late last night and you watched the conclusion of that Padres baseball game. My God, this team continues to frustrate and annoy. They really attack you on many different fronts. They look so good at times, and then they look so bad oftentimes. It really is a shame. Okay, first blush reactions to the game last night. But before we do, we have to welcome in a very important piece to the puzzle, somebody who's had to fill in many times over the past couple of weeks due to some extenuating circumstances outside of our control. An acorn fell from a tree one day in March. That acorn rolled onto a hiking path where it somehow meandered its way underfoot to one Ben Fletcher. He, quote unquote, body slammed his right ankle, breaking both his fibula and tibia. That has led to, cascaded into a series of events that has led him to an operation today. Fletch is going to have screws and plates and bolts and hardware put in his leg, and filling in for him for another episode of Big Rich TD and Fletch. It's Jonathan Rifkin on the board.
Nicely done. Wow.
Thank you, buddy.
Unbelievable.
Happy to be here.
How do you feel? How do you feel waking up early this morning with us again?
Dude, these sleeps, I tell you, like the anxiety I get from worrying I'm not going to wake up in time completely hinders my sleeping performance. I'm in bed at 9 o'clock, but I'm not falling asleep until like 11:30 because I'm so scared that I'm not going to wake up to get here in time.
Here's your first problem, though. Referring to sleeping as performing sleep. What the hell are you doing?
It's a performance. You have good sleeps and you have bad sleeps.
You are not performing anything.
Absolutely.
You are rolling into a pillow filled with goose down. What the
Rich, when you go to you understand, like, so you have like the 4 levels of brain waves, right? When you go to sleep, like you're in gamma, your brain waves are in like gamma, right?
Sure,
so it's
sure.
When you
talk about that a lot.
When you perform better sleep
in our second hour, you're kind of tipping our hand here.
Sorry, coming up now.
Rapid eye movement.
No, well, like when you sleep, like the better your sleep is, the way that the better your brain waves react to how you're sleeping. So it is a performance. Just like as a baseball player, right? Like if I'm performing as a catcher, like it's probably a better performance for me if I'm stepping on home plate when the ball is thrown to me in a force out situation.
Yeah, that would be better. I would argue that too would be better to perform that better. TD, I got to ask you, because you sent the last text on the group text last night, and normally that's the person. It's almost like, all right, the gavel has slammed. The judge has ruled the situation. They are guilty of losing another terrible baseball game. So what was your reaction when you saw the final out in that Padres game last
night? F me. I think that's what I thought. Look, I mean, I can't believe that it's deja vu here. That's where I'm getting thrown off of. How could we be doing the same thing? I mean, that's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. I know there's been some changes here. I know game Well, game 3, I guess, for the Padres. Opening day, things looked different. Things felt different. It felt like the team had some different momentum than they had last year. It felt like they weren't going to go out and give up because they did have to fight from behind, come back, get that win. And I know we're only 8 games into this thing, but man, it sure feels like there's a trend developing. And that trend is the same trend we saw last season where they put together a heater of a game. They throw 13 runs up on the board, and then they just can't score. They can't even hit. Well, I guess they got some hits yesterday, but the guys who I think need to hit are not hitting. Manny Machado has gone now 0 for 2 games in a row. I think we said this before the season started. One of the keys to seeing the Padres win here is Manny. Manny has to go work. Manny has to be the guy out there, and maybe he is in the dugout, but whew, man, it'd sure help a hit or two. That would sure help. And
well, you said it all. I think you need to have your leaders playing like leaders, and that was a big void last year in the clubhouse. Is it sort of felt like a leaderless ship. Now, Mike Schilt, he talks about the offense specifically yesterday post game, and he said a lot of things like, hey, I think we're all on the right track. We just got to put things together in the right moments to get things working in our favor. And it's still early. It's 8 games in. But what is your feel on Mike Schilt as a manager, as a skipper of this team so far?
yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty confident with him. I like to see how he interacts with the players. It does look like they respect him. It looks like he is confident and he knows the game. I like to see. I do like what he's doing. I just don't like the fact that they're not winning.
You know what's interesting? So, like, the first couple of games, I think every game, with the exception of now the last 2, like, he has really utilized subs, right? Like, he has utilized the bench. We've seen a handful throughout the lineup. I mean, pitching is what pitching is. Like, I don't know if he's managing the bullpen poorly or if they're just not performing. I think they're just not performing, to be honest with you. Like Matsui came in here with a lot of high expectations, and the 3 times we've seen him, he's really let us down, especially last night. Like, he just was not on it last night. So that's not Mike Schultz's fault. I think it's just there's a curve that they need to hit for all of the relief pitching to start, I guess, hitting its stride and being more consistent. But I like that he's finally letting the lineup roll through much of these games. Like, we're not seeing Tatis being taken out in the 7th inning. Like, last night, every single player who started ended the game. Like, I think that they need more of that because that's how you build chemistry. That's how you build consistency. If you keep rotating middle innings for these guys on offense or in the late beginning half of the later innings, wow, it's early. My brain is not working. I think that it's hard to build the chemistry. It's also hard to figure out like where you want the pieces in your lineup to fall each and every day. And that's where I think the offensive struggles come in. So I liked, even through adversity yesterday, he kept everybody out there and said, you know what, like, you guys dug this hole, dig it. Now you got to dig yourself out.
Yeah.
Well,
I think when you look at what Darvish has done early this season and you look at overall, I'm not talking about specifically, the stars on this team, but overall what the offense has looked like. Again, Darvish is only one pitcher in a rotation, and obviously a pitching staff is built up of not only your starting arms, but also your bullpen and also your closers and the guys who are going to be the most impactful during your postseason run, should you be so lucky to get there, may not be the guys who you even start the season with. I mean, there are trades during the season. There are injuries during the season. So we have no idea where these things are going. But early results, when you look at the statistical achievements year over year, Padres 2024 to Padres 2023, I feel hopeful. I know a 3-5 record is not what anybody wanted, but I don't get really hyper focused on any one game or any 10-game run, so to speak. I like to take the season in chunks. We were talking about this yesterday, and we talked about this a lot last season. But if you look at the game in 20 or the season in 20-game chunks, you can really diagnose the problems better than trying to focus in a vacuum on any one game and then like dilate the pupils and study it in the moment and say, okay, this is the problems and let's fix these problems and it's all fixed. It's like, no, because this is a one-off against the Cardinals. And even though they lost the series to the Cardinals and it kind of felt like it happened real quick, It's only one series. One series does not make a season.
No, I completely agree with everything. However, if you're looking at it in a singular game fashion, a singular game with one of your starting pitchers, and if one of the worries here is pitching, and one of your starting pitchers gives up 3 over 7 innings, that sure seems like a obtainable goal that you could score 4 runs and keep it to 3 and win this game. So when your starting pitcher goes 7 innings and gives up 3, those are games you should win. Those are games you should walk away with a W. So that's where frustration lies of, man, guys, how are you giving up these? How are you giving up these games? Because now, 4-4, 8 games in, feels a lot more comfortable than 3-5, 8 games in. 8 games in. I'm complaining about 8 games in because, again, last year was a roller coaster. That's all. That's all. I mean, anybody else, I think, in the league, 8 games in is saying, we're 8 games in. I mean, come on. We haven't even got this motor turned over yet.
But I look at, like, for example, Cronenworth in the 7th, Padres down 3-2. He's got 2 runners on. He swings the bat hard, and it turns into an inning-ending double play. It's like a quality at bat, but it doesn't result in the outcomes that you need to tie or win potentially a ball game in that moment. And it felt like a lot of those moments piled up and attacked the Padres, where last year was such a statistical anomaly. It feels like it couldn't be replicated. And I almost feel good that some of the early hiccups are happening now because, again, as it bears out over a 162 game season, it doesn't feel possible that they could repeat what they did last year. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Yeah. We've been burned before.
We've been burned before. All right. Hey, J-Riff, I threw a little Mike Schilt on the rundown. Did you see that sound clip? It was from his post-game presser. He was talking specifically about the offense. Marty Caswell actually asked a question about what he thinks of his offense to date. And I know you want to play more heavy metal. Yeah. We will get to that later in the show.
Welcome but first, to hell.
Welcome to hell. But first, let's hear from the Padres skipper. Here's Mike Schilt.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think I agree with him. Like, I know, again, that this is Brightside Richie on a Wednesday morning here in early April, and I know it feels like I'm trying to paint maybe a rosier picture than a lot of people are willing to paint for the Padres right now. But I don't know, man. Like, we're barely out of spring training, and I think there's a lot of positives already that feel different and more optimistic in terms of the picture that's starting to reveal itself for the 2024 season. Maybe I'm over my skis. Maybe I'm being too optimistic.
No, I don't think you are. I think you're being pretty level-headed in this, to be quite honest. I think on the flip side, I'm being too far gone here. I mean, again, we're 8 games in. It's just an emotional reaction because you want to see wins. You want to see this record flipped. I mean, 5 wins, it feels like where they should be right now. And, I'm not saying that they're the best team in baseball, but I'm saying they got a lot of great pieces here that should be working better than they are. So as a mechanic, Mike Schilt out there turning some wrenches, looking at this thing going, yeah, no. We're going to get it dialed in. I can see what we need to work on, what we need to twist, what we need to move here. And this thing will be firing on all cylinders, and we'll move along. And I believe him. I feel confident that he can do that. So I'm waiting to see the Padres turn this around. Again, this is very, very early. Statistically, the likelihood of this happening again, another meltdown, is astronomical. But I mean, if any team can do it, it is our San Diego Padres.
We have known and loved them for a long time, and if anybody can do it, they can. All right, coming up, we have halftime in just a moment here, but I do want to warn our listeners that we're giving away a pair of tickets to see Social Distortion. All right, they're going to be at North Island Credit Union Amphitheater April 12th. They're going to have a special guest, Bad Religion, on the docket with them. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com, and also a $50 gift card to Islands. Islands Restaurant has a massive menu, family-friendly, beachy vibe, delicious food and drinks. They have the happiest happy hour starting weekdays at 3. Those cheddar fries are unbelievable. They have the coldest beer in town. So we're going to be sending you and your family to Islands with a $50 gift card if you win on the show today. But first, let's do this. What I got for you is the Padres losing another tight one last night, 5-2 loss to the Cardinals, so they lose the series. They have getaway day today, a 1:10 first pitch before they head back up to the Bay Area to face the Giants again. Also on the Padres front, we have failed to mention it, but legendary baseball executive Larry Lucchino passed away yesterday at age 78. Those who were here in San Diego during his time here remember him as the president and CEO who helped get Petco Park, the planning and directing of that stage of the Padres. They brought that to market. He also oversaw the Orioles when they were developing Oriole Park at Camden Yards. He was the president of the Red Sox from 2002 to 15, where he oversaw 3 World Series with the Red Sox. So a legendary career. Rest in peace, Larry Lucchino. Moving on to Jackson County, Missouri, where voters rejected the sales tax to pay for a renovation of Arrowhead Stadium and also the new stadium for the Royals. Chiefs team president Mark Donovan threatened that the team could leave if the measure didn't pass. We'll see. We'll get to that story in a little bit, but first, I want to focus on our other friends in the Bay Area, the Oakland A's, who are, you want to talk about legends, they are legendarily screwing this up. So the owner, it's John Fisher, right? That's the name of the owner of the A's. Do I have that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
The single A's.
He's the worst.
Yeah.
He's the worst. I mean, like, I guess we can't. Can we pair like the team name with the word whole, like A's? You get what I'm going for. He's the worst. So he tells the city of Oakland, like, screw you, we're going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas goes basically, nah, we don't really want you.
What?
And so now he's back in Oakland trying to rework a lease deal. This guy is a magician who, like, you clearly see the rabbit falling out of his coat before he starts performing the top hat trick. It's unbelievably bad.
What was great is Vegas was they said, yeah, you know what? We really do want a Major League Baseball team here. Show us what you got. Never mind.
Yeah, we're good.
You're probably better off staying
yeah.
where you're at.
Yeah, you
Stay
should
in Oakland.
You should stay in Oakland because we're gonna have a different team here. Because the way you do things, we don't like. Yeah, man, this is an epic screw up here, and I don't know how you. I mean, let's just say he reworks a lease deal, right? They stay in Oakland. How do you save face? I mean, the fan base hates you.
You got to sell the team. That's the only way. It's
Yeah.
literally the only way.
That's what I
Did you
think.
see this flyer that like was tweeted out yesterday to like the vendors at the Coliseum?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
No.
so this went around because somebody found it. So basically, like the Oakland Coliseum distributed these memos to all of the vendors at the Coliseum yesterday for the game against the Red Sox. And so there's like it's like broken up into sections: customer service, product, new jerseys, item of the game, the gate close. If there's less than 5,000 fans, which there were, there's only 3,500 fans, they're going to close these gates. Anyways, so here's an example of what it says. I understand that the fan base may be upset with the team, but do what we can to make their experience with us a positive one. If you see anything that says this is now apparel, if you see anything that says rooted in Oakland, it must be taken down immediately.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Try not to highlight product that focuses on the name Oakland. These
Oh
are for
my
people who are
gosh.
selling different A's gear.
Wow.
That, like, okay, listen, I get from a business standpoint, like even when the Chargers were leaving for Los Angeles, like I understand what they're doing from a business standpoint. Like I understand a business, its only goal is to make money. Otherwise the business goes away. Like it's like an organism. Like we need oxygen, we need food, we need sleep to stay alive, except for Jonathan, who barely slept last night.
Yeah.
His gamma rays were all off. He was talking about that earlier.
Gamma brainwaves.
That's right. That's what I was saying.
Gamma brainwaves.
That's right. Brainwaves.
Were you up
They
playing? Were you up
they were
playing
supposed to
Switch?
Did not play Switch last night. No, I was watching Suits. Just got into that show.
Oh,
You just started Suits?
Just started Suits.
My sister was a huge Suits fan, and I never could get through the first episode. I kept falling asleep. Honestly, I don't know why.
Sarah was into it all the way up until Meghan Markle was not on the show anymore, and then didn't care. Yeah,
She's fine.
yeah, she is.
Honestly, the first
you
two
mean like she's
episodes,
okay.
I didn't think that her acting was that good.
No,
So you tell me she ruined a show by leaving and ruined a family by joining it? Unbelievable. The clean sweep.
yes.
We would have never suspected.
Meghan Markle's best performance is in Horrible Bosses.
Oh, I was gonna say in the British royal family.
Oh yeah, that too.
But yeah, man, like this makes me happy. Like when these owners, because what they fail to realize is this is very similar to almost like one of those pastors at a mega church here in Texas where I am. Like you're selling God, you're selling religion to people. People buy jerseys the same way they buy, crosses on a necklace or the Star of David. Like people invest so much into sports. It is like a religion. And when you make a business decision around something that people hold as sacred as their maker,
Yeah.
holy smokes, you all of a sudden you become the Antichrist. You become the person that people hate the most. That's the reason why Dean Spanos, his name, it's almost like Voldemort in Harry Potter. Like people around San Diego get uncomfortable hearing his name. That's the reason why John Fisher is hated in the Bay Area, because you've taken something that's almost a religious event for people and you've turned it into the worst possible example of greed.
Yeah. And I mean, and definitely great comparison, but also it's the vacation, right? That's the sports, and their team is the thing that they get to watch and get to go to when they don't want to mess with work in their head or politics in their head or whatever it may be, family, whatever's ailing you. You can go, you can lean on your team because those are your boys. And yeah, you're ripping that out of the fabric of their life. Yeah, you're gonna have to sell the team.
But it's also like a celebration of greatness, right? Like we all come together, like athletes, no matter what sport you play, no matter how good you actually are, if you're at the professional level, like you're in the top 0.1% of like human conditioning, right? Like we're there to be together and to celebrate greatness. Like they demoted. Remember Echeverry Ruiz? He was on the Padres.
Oh yeah,
this dude was off to like a 350 start this year. He had like 4 stolen bases in 2 games, and he was slugging like 1.1 or something. They're like, yeah, we're gonna send you down to AAA to make room for Phil Nevin's son, Tyler Nevin, who just got cut by the Orioles because he's cheaper and he's underperforming. So that way we can keep tanking games. Like the decisions that they're not even like putting a product out there for us to go and celebrate. It's like these, like, no offense to the guys that are playing, but like they call them the single A's because it's basically just a single A baseball team out there taking the field every day.
This was made, I think it was a documentary. It was called Major League. In the 80s.
Right. That's right. The team right now has just a picture of John Fisher, and every win they pull off, they remove a little bit of his suit with a red tie and white collar. Like pretty soon he's going to be just in a loincloth, guys.
A leopard print loincloth.
I love it. All right, coming up on the show, we've got a ton to get to today. It's a Wednesday, so we're going to be playing a little red pill, blue pill later on. Kevin Acey is going to be on the show. We're going to jam with him about the Padres as well. But all of a sudden, we're seeing red. On the other side, we have a bizarre amount of Kansas City Chiefs news to pass along. And we also have a new reason why I'm here in Dallas. There's another investigation occurring. I went headlong into the Zeke Elliott expose yesterday. I have a new target. We'll explain coming up next. Hey, it's Rich here for the Good Feet Store. You've heard me talk about the Good Feet Store before, and I love singing their praises. As a matter of fact, one of my close friends asked me about the Good Feet Store because her doctor, I'm not kidding, her doctor recommended her to go there. He said, yeah, you could go through other companies. They're the best at it. So just stop by one of their locations and they'll take care of you. Apparently, she's been sending out patients on this referral for her whole time in practice because she's a big believer and she wears them herself. So I look, I don't know what more you need to hear from me. If you're struggling with lower back pain, knee pain, hip pain, foot pain, ankle pain, like our co-host Fletch, so having a little more than just ankle pain these days. But when he's back in action, he's going to be wearing the arch supports too. We all got fitted. It's a try before you buy experience. It's a free fitting. You walk around the store, you see if they're right for you. They can tweak them for you. If it's not perfect, you walk out of there. And if you're like me, in a week, you're going to feel significant pain relief. The back pain has been minimized to the point where most of my days are good days. The knee pain disappeared. The hip pain absolutely vanished. I thought I was going to need a hip surgery. I was scheduling MRIs. I canceled those. So if you're like me and you struggle for a long time with lower body joint pain and you want to get right, get to the Good Feet Store. Check them out at goodfeet.com.
We are seeing red out in Kansas City, and an unusually large number of Chiefs stories. We'll get to it coming up next.
This update is presented by the San Diego International Airport. Padres drop game 2 to the Cardinals 5-2. Despite 3 earned runs, Yu Darvish looked pretty good going 7 strong. Quickly disowning of the name 5-inning Darvish that some of our texters have given him. The Padres have one more against the Cardinals today at 110. Java Joe is on the mound. Elsewhere in baseball, Bryce Harper blasted 3 homers yesterday in a 9-4 Phillies win over the Braves. And finally, the numbers are in. Iowa's 94-87 victory over LSU averaged 12.3 million viewers, the largest TV audience ever for a women's basketball game. At San Diego International Airport, parking should be stress-free. If you're traveling soon, make a parking reservation in advance for the Terminal 2 parking plaza or curbside valet. It's as easy as 123 at sandiego.org/parking.
Yeah, man. And if you'd like to have some more national championship coverage, come hang out with us April 8th, this Monday, 6 p.m. We're going to be at the Whiskey Girl downtown in the heart of the gas lamp, 702 5th Avenue. It's right on the corner of G Street. Plenty of food options. They got bucket and draft beer specials as well as tequila specials. Prize pack giveaways from both Whiskey Girl and San Diego Sports 760 throughout the game. And then join us for some post-game karaoke immediately following the big game. That is going to be a party, boys.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, that is going to be a party. If you're looking for a home for your viewing of the national championship game, Whiskey Girl, I mean, first of all, it's a stone's throw from Petco Park, so it should be headquarters for any of your Padres viewing if you're downtown throughout the season. But then on top of it, it's just a great sports bar. All right, check this out. So the Kansas City Chiefs, they have 4 stories that are developing or have hit the news over the past 24 hours. Like since we turned off our microphones yesterday at 9 a.m. until here where we've joined again together, there have been so Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he agrees to a 1-year deal per sources. So they're going to get things going for another shot on him.
Yeah, I thought there was a fallout there. And apparently, they've mended fences.
Yeah, a little bit. There was this weirdness. I think, you know what? I think this really stems back to the conversation that occurred all last season, TD, about the fact that I feel like running backs have overinflated their value in the
Mhm.
league, and everybody's coming back to reality. They're like, oh, no. Yeah, we're getting paid what we deserve. Like, this is kind of what the market is, and it is what it is.
Well, whether or not they feel like they deserve it or not, that is what the market is. I mean, whether or not you feel like your house is worth $2 million, it's only worth $850,000. I mean, that's it. So that's what you're going to have to deal with if you want to sell that house.
This feels all of a sudden very personal for you. You're like,
I just need some equity here, man. That's all.
I don't care what you say, Wells Fargo.
Someone will pay cash.
And then you have this Rashee Rice story, which is the reason why I'm here in Dallas, guys. I'm going rolling up the sleeves, and I'm going in on another major Dallas headline. Rashee Rice apparently was involved in a multi-car crash. He's working with authorities. And by multi-car crash, there was apparently his Corvette, I believe, that he owns, and then a Lamborghini that he was leasing for this obscene rate per day. It was like $1,500 plus
$1,749 per day for a
Lord.
Lamborghini. I mean, hopefully he got the insurance on it.
Yeah,
It's
I
it's a
hope so,
$400,000 car.
because he totaled it.
Yeah.
Or actually, we don't know. So I say all we know is that he was involved in the accident, that he and whoever else was with him fled the scene. So it was a hit and run. And it was a situation where other cars were involved. And now there's another Dallas couple who have lawyered up, and they're looking into legal actions. So this is going to be a little bit busier of an offseason for Rashee Rice after having an unbelievable rookie season and a Super Bowl winning season with the Chiefs.
Yeah, this is dumb, man. He was racing, or in the car, one of these cars that was racing, I guess I should say, down the freeway in Dallas. So a Corvette versus a Lamborghini, which I keep thinking it's shocking that the Corvette kept up with the Lamborghini. I mean, that seems like a commercial to me in some manner. Anyways, there was a multi-car accident because of the race. It's all caught on a dash cam. I mean, the entire crash is caught on a dash cam from somebody they passed. And then when they got out of the car, people filmed them on their phone walking away from the accident. So then he was on the run, and they were, authorities are looking for him. So yeah, it turns out Rashee Rice has to say, yeah, I was involved. Otherwise, you're going to court and you're on tape, buddy. Well, I say tape. Digital cameras.
By the way, who caught him on video, TD? Rich Ornberger.
Yeah.
It was me.
Boots on the ground.
Investigative reporter Rich Ornberger has been covering it all from the moment of the crash.
It was, I think it was Sunday it happened. So, of course, we got together. We're like, we should send Rich out to Dallas immediately. And you were out there Monday.
There's a lot of news happening.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a receiver on the run after a hit and run. So, yeah, I chased him down.
Yeah.
He's very fast.
Yeah.
He's very, very fast. Also, there's this story. So the Kansas City Chiefs out in Jackson County, Missouri, have gotten their messages mixed with their fan base. I guess they felt like with all the recent success, they would be able to propose a sales tax, a lift in the sales tax that would help the Chiefs ownership renovate Arrowhead Stadium and also help the Royals build a new stadium, a completely new stadium. Yeah, Jackson County residents said, no thanks. No thanks. We're not interested in paying more in sales tax. So
Yeah,
screw you.
Which, look, I'm going to tell you, due to the fact of how much that fan base loves their teams, especially the Chiefs, because, I mean, they're winners, I'm surprised that they turned this down.
That's funny. I'm not surprised. I think, number one, if you guys remember, like, the postseason grades for all of the various, like, factions of teams, the Chiefs got an F for ownership and an A+ for head coaching. I don't know if you saw these.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this is sort of on par with, like, that F rating. But, like, if you're so successful, like they're so good, and the people in Jackson County care about them so much that they don't feel like they need a new stadium and a renovation. Like the fan experience is still so substantial for them that it's like, why are we paying more for something we feel like we don't need? You guys are winning anyways. Like Like, we have 3 Super Bowls and whatever. Like, we don't need all these upgrades and for us to pay more on top of it. And I'm assuming that the Chiefs are probably every season raising prices anyways because of all of their success. So, like, if they're winning, the fans are passionate and in it. It doesn't feel like it's necessary for them to have to do all of this.
Well, Rich, listen, man, you played there in Arrowhead. Do they still call it Arrowhead Stadium, or do they sell the name
No, it's
rights to it?
No,
So
they still call it
Is it named after the water? Is that what it is?
yeah,
Okay, I
it's
wasn't
named
sure.
after the San Bernardino Mountains here.
I thought it was named after the Lake Arrowhead up in the San Bernardino Mountain. I believe Travis is right.
Yeah. But you've played at Arrowhead Stadium. Is it dilapidated? Is it old? Does it need to be torn down?
You know what? I don't remember it being all that bad. And now granted, a visiting team only gets to see so much of the stadium. You see the tunnels, you see the bus entry, you see the visitor locker room, you see the field, obviously, in the sidelines and the amenities that they have offered for a visiting team. But oftentimes those are very different than what the home team gets. So it's tough to say from that vantage point, but I can tell you right now, that's one of the most raucous environments in all of football, and I'm including college football as well. I've played in a lot of stadiums throughout my career, 5 years at Penn State, 6 years in the NFL. That place gets loud. It gets wild, especially if you're playing in a primetime night game. But I mean, that doesn't really speak to the fan experience. And like J Riff pointed out, like, they do surveys on these things for a reason, to see what the players think of the facilities and to see even what the fans think of the facilities. And I don't know. Let's put it this way. As far as we know, the facilities are good enough that the fans aren't like, what we need to do is spend our own money to fix them.
In August last year, prior to the season starting, The Athletic came out with ranking all 32 NFL stadiums. I guess 31 or 30 because of MetLife. And
SoFi,
and Arrowhead Stadium was rated the 6th best stadium.
Wow.
There you go.
In the NFL, according to The Athletic, prior to the season.
And then there's this story, because I want to sneak this one in right under the wire before we have to leave. So SI Swimsuit on Instagram, which has 2 million followers. It is the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit official Instagram page.
Do they still have a paper copy that comes out?
I believe they still do.
Okay.
I believe
all right,
they
good.
So Sports
Thank
Illustrated
God.
does their swimsuit issue every year. And Brittany Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl, 3-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, Patrick Mahomes' wife, Brittany Lynn Mahomes. She posed for the swimsuit edition. We all saw the red monokini, I guess you would call it, where it's kind of like strings attached to the top to the bottom.
Right.
Okay.
Looked great.
Look great.
Then, and normally I would say that I wouldn't have thought Brittany Mahomes would be on the cover of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition. However, they proved me wrong.
And by the way, the proof is good. As it turns out, everything works. Everything's good.
Yeah.
Well, they so this Instagram, their official site, posted a behind the scenes bikini. I guess that didn't make the issue. Just like a little film sesh.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
And she's wearing a micro bikini.
Clearly, they gave her the wrong size.
Is the bikini micro, or did she make it micro?
I
mean,
J Riff, I'm gonna send you this picture.
No, I'm looking at it.
Oh, you are? Okay,
Yeah.
You got it. Okay, yeah, you got it.
Of course, it's on my radar. It's on my For You page.
I mean,
just be careful not to don't like it. You don't have to like it, because if anyway, but
you don't want Jenna to see like, oh,
dude,
maybe
Jenna,
like a suggestion.
She'll be looking over my shoulder when I search something on Instagram, and she'll look at my For You page and be like, "What the F is going on over here?"
Oh,
so,
yeah, that happened
she
to me
knows.
last night with Brittany Lynn Mahomes. Annie was like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's show research. She's a mother of 2."
They kept saying that too in the article. Like, everything was like the mother of 2. This is a picture of the mother of 2.
Which, by the way, I mean, first of all, how did they adopt? Is it like what exactly is going on? I don't really understand science, but I like it. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, clearly they didn't use this pictures because they meant to give her like a large top. and
Right.
they instead they gave her a small.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of fabric.
Hang on a second. Let me turn this around for our streaming audience. Let's see if we can pass this. Yeah, there we
That's
go.
right.
So that's what we're looking at
Mhm,
here. Yeah.
mhm.
You have a ring
Well,
light on?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, there was a glare. Turn the ring light off and then do it.
Wow, you're
Hang on.
asking a lot here, J.
Hang
Rip.
on.
Wow,
Maybe
this
I
is
can handle
producing
that.
There
the
we
show.
go.
We got
Look
turn
at
off
that.
the ring light.
Okay. and-
Now we got it.
wow.
Yeah.
There it
So
is.
anyways, it doesn't fit. And
Yeah.
you know what they say? If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. I've
That's-
always said that.
Yep.
I've always
It's
said
the
that.
old saying. Goes
That's
way
it.
back.
It goes way, way back. That's an old wives' tale. Mother of two.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving right along. Look, there's plenty to get to today, and we'll get to it all. That's what we do on this show. Big Rich, TD Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. We have the decision, part 2. That's next. Hey, it's Rich here, and if you are looking for an awesome dentist, I know those two words don't feel like they should be together, but I'm telling you it should be with Dr. Jordan Colby of Ocean View Dental. He's my dentist. He's been my dentist since I had this really kind of an emergency procedure done. I needed to have a tooth extracted. It was getting to the point where it was infected and it was causing all sorts of problems. I also had cracked and had a bunch of different molars removed from left over from my playing career. So I needed 3 implants put in. He was able to do all this work at once. Normally they have to stage this. Like they remove a tooth and then you wait until that heals and then they put the implants in. No. At Ocean View Dental, he is an expert. He is a pro. He had me walking out of his office with brand new teeth after having the extraction done. Anybody who's been through this process before knows exactly what I'm talking about. If you're new to this, or if this is something that's in your future, you need to stop what you're doing and you need to call Ocean View Dental, or better yet, go to their website, oceanviewdental.net. That's where you should start your search, because any major oral surgery, you should at very least consult with Dr. Jordan Colby. He's the best at what he does. People come from all over Southern California to visit his office, and for good reason. If you go to oceanviewdental.net, you're going to see before and after pictures of some of the patients he's helped. His motto is, no matter your situation, I can help you create a confident, healthy smile. And in most times, he does it in a single day. You're in and out of his office in one day. And regardless of how severe the situation is, you can walk out of there with a confident and healthy smile. He also does the small things right too. The office atmosphere, it's like a family. Everybody knows your name. They know why you're there. It's super comfortable. They make it great for kids as well. It's my family's dentist. My wife goes there. My children go there. You should go there too. Again, that's Dr. Jordan Colby of Ocean View Dental. Check them out at oceanviewdental.net.
You don't go anywhere because we need to get to it. Does he stay or does he go? It's the decision. Part 2 coming up next. Big Rich City and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760 on a Wednesday, a hump day. Mike. That's what Jeremy was waiting for on the text line. Forgot it was Wednesday already. Not just any Wednesday, though. National Burrito Day. Gonna have sombrero Mexican food coming in here, dropping off some burritos here in about an hour. So not like we're counting it down or anything.
Yeah, we are,
Yeah.
and for good reason. Here in San Diego, we serve the best burritos, so you get it.
Mhm.
So the decision part 2, we'll get to this real quick because we're kind of chatty Cathy's about all the Chiefs news that was circulating, especially that last story. If you missed it, it'll be posted on the podcast on the free iHeartRadio app, where you can find all of our shows to date. Gets posted about an hour after the show ends, right at 9 a.m. Pacific time. But yeah, the decision part 2, Bronny James, LeBron's kid, who finished up his season at USC and didn't play very well. He's making a decision between entering the transfer portal and declaring himself eligible for the NBA draft. Now, for anybody who is just catching up with this story now, he's not really a good enough player to be drafted by any team. But the developmental G League, the fact that his dad's LeBron, he could very easily get drafted or at very least sign as a free agent somewhere. So there's that. The transfer portal thing, that started as a rumor put out by Hall of Fame voter Dick Weiss on X.com. He tweeted that it looks like Bronny is going to enter the transfer portal. He wished him well. He wished him luck. And then he sort of walked it back saying, look, I cannot confirm the report I put out. It is not a report. All I can say is I'm hoping for the best, and he loves him and all that. So Dick Weiss may have missed on the reporting, but to me, it does make sense. USC just lost their head basketball coach. LeBron James Jr. at USC did not perform very well and did not start many games. So where does his story go from here? TD, do you think he stays with the Trojans, or do you think he goes to the NBA or to a different team in college basketball?
Well, oh man, I don't feel like he's going to stay at USC, but part of me, and probably the majority of me, feels like he does go to the Lakers. And LeBron James is the instrumental key that makes this happen. Now, will he play? Well, maybe, I guess, because LeBron will pull that string as well. But
Travis,
I
you
think,
and Bronny would be just as effective on the Lakers.
what?
I'm just letting like I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god, I've been saying this for years. Like I followed his career at Sierra Canyon. Bryce James is the better of the Suns. Like Bryce James is going to be an actual NBA basketball player. Bronny James was the 9th best player on a USC team that wasn't very good this year. Like this guy is not going to the NBA. This guy is probably going to another collegiate program.
Yeah.
It's probably still not going to be very good.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the NBA for 2 years and then go enjoy Europe.
Yeah. I mean, you are forgetting the fact that his dad.
I don't care.
His dad.
Why are you wasting a spot on your team? Why are you wasting a draft pick? Why are you wasting equity for somebody who is just a son of the greatest player of all time, who is not actually a good basketball player at the highest level?
Well,
easy,
you
easy.
just answered the question right there.
Yeah, I know.
Within the question.
Yeah.
It's because his son, he's the son of
Yes.
the greatest basketball player who's ever lived.
Yeah.
It's
one of.
well,
No,
yeah,
the.
in my opinion, look, I know everybody likes to debate it. MJ or LeBron. My mind's made. I think LeBron's the better of the two, but it doesn't really matter. If this was Michael Jordan's son at the height of his career, or even at the tail end of his career, where he was still winning champion or was won a recent championship and was still playing at an all-star level, I think people would bend over backwards for Michael Jordan. And the Lakers will bend over backwards for LeBron James because right now LeBron James is the Lakers. He sort of saved them in many ways from this spiral that they were in. Do you remember the hottest thing that the Lakers were up to before LeBron James was the drafting second overall of Lonzo Ball?
Right.
Like that's
Right.
We've come a long way from those days.
Yeah. And
So-
look, the Lakers are a business, a profitable business. The Lakers know how to make money, and they know that bringing over LeBron's son not only lifts up their name, not only puts another jersey out there for sale, but it lifts up LeBron. I mean, having the father-son duo.
Why are you buying a jersey of a player who's playing 4 games in a year and averaging less than a point?
Because of
why
the
would
last
you?
name.
Because he's LeBron, dude.
Because of the last name.
This is crazy to me.
Because of the last
Social
name.
media has ruined this entire narrative.
If
you're going to see father and son show up to Lakers game with LeBron and Bronny Jr. jerseys. It's going to be adorable. Can you imagine Father's Day night at Crypto.com Arena?
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We got to scram. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on a Wednesday. San Diego Sports 760. Still a lot to get to. We got those Social D tickets. We have the Islands gift card to give away. $50 to Islands. So be listening for those. Also, we'll get to this. The Padres had 2 major losses yesterday. And I'm going to settle a debate that has lived for a long time. And if finally somebody needs to be the last word, and I'll do it. I'll do it, darn it. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. San Diego.
This update is presented by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes. Padres have game 3 against the Cardinals of the Series coming up tonight, trying to shake off a 6-2 and a 5-2 loss in succession and try at least closing out the series with a victory. Joe Musgrove will get the start at 110. Elsewhere in baseball, Bryce Harper blasted a 3-run homer, or 3 homers yesterday, including a 3-run homer in a 9-4 Philly win over the Braves. And finally, the numbers are in. Iowa's 94-87 victory over LSU averaged 12.3 million viewers, the largest TV audience ever for a women's basketball game. Why are people saying "hoo-yeah" to Jackson Hewitt? When you switch to Jackson Hewitt, they'll beat what you paid on your tax prep last year, even if you filed online. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations now through April 7th. That's 4 days. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Happy Wednesday to those who celebrate. Happy hump day to you all.
Mike.
It's Big Rich TD and Fletch with you. And Fletch is missing. J-Riff is in. So if you're a little confused by our decision-making with the royalty-free music this morning, just blame J-Riff. Send your mail to J-Riff, P.O. Box 1234 at iHeart San Diego.
You don't like the carnival?
No, this
I
is
dig
fun.
it. Yeah, I'm in.
Actually, yeah.
Merry-go-round music.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Soothing. It's really
It
soothing.
does feel good.
7 a.m. on a Wednesday morning. It's not jarring at all. Like it's always good to play childhood themed music over 3 adult men who are just lewdly looking at a photograph of a woman in a mini bikini just moments ago. Yeah.
It feels a little Beetlejuicy.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why.
It's just nostalgic.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, hit you in your feels.
By the way,
It's good.
Beetlejuice 2 going to be out this year called Beetlejuice. J-Riff looking at me
There's a second one?
Yeah. It's going to have Jenna
Is it
Ortega
Michael
in it.
Keaton?
Yeah, Michael Keaton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God. All right.
Yeah, Michael
Then I'm
Keaton
in.
back as Beetlejuice and Tim Burton directing, Winona Ryder in it again. This time, well, and who was the mom?
Oh, I forget her name.
Wh-
Yeah.
but
but-
everybody's back in it except for the
Andy
guy.
McDowell?
No.
Andy- No. that
No.
wasn't
Oh, you're
her.
thinking golly, hang on, I'll find it.
Yeah, find it because you
Yeah,
gotta
it's gonna
find
kill
it.
me. It's gonna kill me.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad
Mhm.
until we find.
But
we
he
will
looks
not
good.
do another. We'll not do another part of the show until we find out.
No,
exactly what it is.
not gonna happen. Catherine O'Hara.
Thank you.
Catherine O'Hara. So this time, Catherine O'Hara, the grandma, as Winona Ryder will be there as Lydia Dietz, and then her daughter is Astrid, played by Jenna Ortega.
So the Padres had 2 major losses, and speaking of Beetlejuice, actually, that's where we'll start because we go into, Beetlejuice. It's a voyage into.
Don't say it again.
Beetlejuice.
Oh
Oh,
God!
there it is. Great. Now we'll take our voyage into the land of the undead. Unfortunately, look, we like to joke on this show, but there was a loss. Larry Lucchino, who's a former executive with the Padres, president and CEO from, I believe it was 94, late in the 94 season through 02. He was here during the Moores era when he was the owner of the Padres. They were trying to get Petco Park off the ground, and he was a key figure in getting that all done, and he was beloved. Look, Ted Leitner, I've worked with him for many years on the radio broadcast for the San Diego State Aztecs as his color analyst, and when he brings up Larry Lucchino, he talks about him in the most glowing of terms. There were a lot of people, who worked alongside him during his long career as an executive. He was referred to as a visionary. He was referred to as a great mentor. And at 78 yesterday, his family announced that he passed away. And so a life well lived, a long life, unfortunately, ended too early. 78, there were probably some good years left there, but definitely one of the most accomplished baseball men who's never worn a uniform in the history of Major League Baseball.
Yeah. It's pretty sad, man. I guess because also we had Peter Seidler pass away, so it kind of feels like there's some heartbreak going on with the team. So some wins strung together here would sure be uplifting because, meanwhile, our pets' heads are falling off. It's
It does feel a little bit
why
like that.
does J-Riff look at me like you don't know the Dumb and Dumber reference?
You remember the scene where they're in the front of the shaggin' wagon together. They're just trying to sort out life.
Dude, I haven't seen Dumb and Dumber in like a decade and a half.
Dude, what do you watch when you're at home?
Yeah,
I told you I'm watching Suits.
Yeah, except for Suits. He told us that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, watch Beetlejuice 1 so we could get ready for the sequel.
Yes.
And
definitely.
then also, you probably should watch a little Dumb and Dumber again. Like maybe review that one, because that one is significant part of my childhood and framework for the rest of my life, unfortunately.
Right.
The product of a misspent youth. But enough about me, more about the fact that, yeah, Padres fans do sort of feel like the walls are falling down around them. We just celebrated this beautiful remembrance of Peter Seidler at Petco Park on opening day. It was, well, I guess technically it was an opening day because they played their first quote-unquote home game out in Seoul, South Korea. But the home opener for the Padres was a beautiful remembrance for Peter Seidler. And now you lose Larry Lucchino, who was a key figure here in San Diego. I mean, he also helped open up Oriole Park at Camden Yards for the Orioles.
Mhm.
He's also an executive with the Boston Red Sox when they won 3 World Series. So this guy was one of the most esteemed human beings in baseball. And it just sort of feels like the hits keep coming. Oh, and by the way, the Padres are 3-5 opening to their season. So they have a losing record. They've lost Peter Seidler back in November. They lose Larry Lucchino now. It just doesn't feel like there's a lot of good news. So can we please have an upswing soon? That would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, a few wins in a row would be nice. We didn't get that until late last season. So yeah, I there it'd be nice to turn some things around here. It really would. We got a getaway day today, so a day game, 1:10 first pitch, and then I don't even know where they head. I've been looking at it day to day.
San Francisco.
San Francisco. Oh,
Back to hang out with Sleepy Bob.
cool.
Sleepy Bob.
Cool.
Everybody knows he was asleep at the switch. It was AJ Preller who was the mastermind of everything Padres. Sleepy Bob. That's what we called him in the office. A lot of people called him that. Everybody was calling him Sleepy Bob. He would fall asleep directly in front of his computer screen. People would be like, "Is he dead?" He was sleep very, very tired, very tired. Bob.
Dude, Texas has done you dirty, Rich.
What? Come on. That's
what are you
quality.
What are you talking about? I'm working. That's my Texas accent.
By the way, the Giants losing as well, so they sit behind the Padres in the standings. Padres sitting at third place, which, I mean, if they get some wins racked up over the Giants here and create a little separation, that would be nice if you continue that through 160 more games here, 154, I guess.
Look, I got to tell you, I don't have a lot of faith. Padres are going to look amazing early in the season, because here's the thing about change. And everybody's experienced this in their own life, right? If you've ever moved, or if you've ever started a new job, or if you've ever had, that moment where you're leaving elementary school and it's your first time in middle school and you get a locker assignment and you don't know where your homeroom is, and you don't know where second period, Spanish class is. Like, it's confusing. When life changes, it's a little jarring. And when major changes happen, like, for example, who your boss is, or where you're exactly working, like, it makes it a little bit discombobulated at first. So look, even though Mike Schilt was a member of the front office last year, he's taken on a new role with the Padres, and there's a new voice in the clubhouse, and there's a new guy who's wearing the manager uniform this year for the Pods. And even though AJ Preller has been the acting general manager for all these years, AJ Preller's under the gun this year. There's no doubt in my mind, if he screws this up or somehow the Padres don't win this season, there will be a change at general manager. And then you look at some of the star players like Fernando Tatis Jr. He's been through a tumultuous couple of years with the steroid ban. You look at Manny Machado. He had a down year last year, and the Padres overall did. They traded away Juan Soto. Like, a lot of change. Like, change is necessary for growth in life. There's no question about it. But wouldn't you say that part of the early stumblings here are this team's just trying to figure out who they are still?
Yeah, I agree with that. But I also think that early on in the season here, this team needs to take advantage of what they could take advantage of, because I think the biggest question at looking at the Padres would be pitching. Even though they added another pitcher here in the rotation, I still have questions there. I still don't have all the faith there. I'm still looking at, well, you got like 2 and maybe 2/3 of a starter. That's my gut feeling. So I'm thinking you better win early and often, because this pitching's probably going to get taxed later on in the season. They're probably going to have to take a little time off. So all of a sudden, if you don't keep up in the beginning of the season, and now you're having to fight back in the later part of the season, you're asking more of that pitching staff than you normally would, because you're clawing your way back out of a hole that you put yourself in early.
It's just tough. Like, you lost a Cy Young Award winner. You lost arguably the best closer in baseball. You lost a long-term relief pitcher, Nick Martinez, who was originally a starter. You lost some quality guys like Michael Walker, who had his moments, or Seth Lugo, who had its moments. Like this is the turnover. Like, yeah, you bring in Dylan Cease and you bring in Michael King. Like, these guys have had, Cease has had a longer glimpse of success than Michael King has, but like there's no consistent success in them when now you're putting them through a change and you're putting them in a new situation. And like that learning curve is even steeper to try and get to the peak, like your highest performance abilities, right? So like, I agree. Like like the evolution of this team, like what it looks like, hopefully in May, June, July, is different than what it looks now.
Well, it will.
It has to, because if not, you're going to win like 60 games. Like, that's going to be like, we might as well just call it a season at this point. But we know that the pedigree could be there. It's just whether or not they're actually going to live up to it and evolve to that point.
Well, when you talk about pedigree, moving off of the pitching, your offense has a lot of stars. So you can talk about who you lost here on the pitching side of it. On the offensive side, you lost Juan Soto, who, by the way, is having a hell of a season so far out in New York. But you lost Juan Soto. For the most part, you got all the other pieces there. This team should be scoring more runs. We said it 10,000 times last year. Just play like the stats say on the back of those baseball cards, and they didn't. They didn't the entire season. Well, maybe the end of the season, but they didn't for the most part. So here we are again. You should be scoring more than 3 runs and win a game.
We got halftime coming up in just a minute. We have those Social D tickets and the Islands gift card to give away still. As a matter of fact, keep listening to this very segment, and one of you are going to walk away with those Social D tickets. But first, this.
Oh, it's me. I was surprised. I didn't realize it was
surprise.
Me. Yeah, I didn't think it said
when
that.
I'm on the show, anything can happen.
Listen, now we were just talking about it. The Padres lose again, 2-5 against the Cardinals yesterday. Xander went 0-4. Manny went 0-4. Ha-Seong Kim went 0-4. Campusano, though, on a bit of a heater, had 3 hits. Yu Darvish gave up 3 runs on 5 hits in 7 innings. They have the Cards again today on a getaway day, 1:10 first pitch in college hoops. Last year's NCAA Women's Basketball Championship set an all-time ratings record for a women's game on ESPN. A rematch of that game 2 rounds earlier, by the way, in the tournament, on Monday night, drew an even bigger crowd. Iowa's 94-87 victory over LSU averaged 12.3 million viewers for ESPN, the largest TV audience ever for a women's basketball game in the U.S. On the men's side of things, 3 weeks ago, NC State had next to no chance of making the NCAA tournament. Now they're 2 wins away from a national title, and the odds of that happening aren't just small. They're lower than the likelihood you'd get struck by lightning. It would take a 23,512 to 1 odd to make NC State, to have NC State win this whole thing. That's incredible.
Well, so what that means is the books absolutely cannot have the Wolfpack winning, because any futures bet that anybody put in on NC State winning all of the winning the national championship, I mean, it's going to destroy Vegas.
Yeah.
So that's exciting to root for. These Cinderellas, these 11 seeds, especially like an NC State, like I love when this happens, because it gets awfully sweaty out there in Vegas with some of these sports books.
Obviously, like the NC State, like the storyline, like DJ Burns, like has captured the heart of the nation, and like this is a team that was in a play-in game in their own conference tournament before winning 5 straight, essentially, to make it to the NCAA tournament. The fact that their coach was going to get fired and then winning the ACC championship just automatically triggered a 2-year extension. Like, you could not. That is like, I don't know if I've ever heard of a case like that where like a coach is like literally moments away from being canned, and then his team just basically saves his job for at least another 2 years.
Those are the cool stories. Yeah, I like those. Did you guys want some NBA scores?
Yes, please. This is my favorite part of the show. Can I be honest with you guys?
Part?
Like I only tune in to the morning show when it's Travis's halftime for his NBA scores.
That seems
I'm so ready.
Putting a lot of pressure on me. The Washington posted the Bucks 117-113. The Heat produced by Friction, the Knicks 109-99. Philadelphia brotherly love the Thunder 109-105.
You've used that one before, haven't you?
I probably have used a couple of these. Yeah, I was watching the Padres getting angry. Timberwolves, SpaceX, the Rockets 113-106. The Spurs jingled the Nuggets. The Cavs vealed the Jazz 125-102. The Mavs corralled, Golden State. The Kings authored the Clippers. I don't even know actually if I didn't see the final score of these, so maybe they didn't.
The Kings authored the Clippers,
and Toronto got Raptors de France by the Lakers.
Dude, that's like a 10 out. Like, come on, these are like 10 out of 10. I know that you have to take a lap after every time. I will stand by you, Travis.
Thank you. These are not lap worthy.
These were among the best we've heard.
Good.
I still have no idea who wins. I have no idea.
Again,
I don't know.
It's always the team with more points every time.
It's so simple, yet it's so hard. Those Social D tickets, if you're listening and you want to win those, you're going to win them in about 3 minutes. We'll tell you how. Let's do a very quick morning monologue here. Let's give ourselves like a shot clock, just like TD's basketball scores. Final possession. Let's go. Let's go around the room. Who wants to go first? Who's ready to jump in first
for a morning monologue?
For a morning monologue. Can we do it?
Yeah, I can jump in. I can jump in real quick. Look, I will admit when I'm wrong, and I was wrong, okay? The San Diego Clippers, this G League team coming down to San Diego that I was very skeptical about. I was a little bit angry about. I saw some of the video of the inside of the facility up there in Oceanside they're building. It looks freaking awesome. I mean, I want to go hang out there. I want to go there. I want to party.
I said that day that we broke that story, and thank you for admitting you were wrong, that I want to be the guy who's tossing the ball up for the first tip-off of the opening G League game. That, like, I'm all about it. And you're like, no, stop.
Dumb.
This sucks.
Dumb. Yeah, the place looks rad, okay? I mean, it looks awesome. Or it's going to be awesome.
I love it. J-Riff, what do you got this morning for your monologue? Do you got anything for us? If you want to skip it, you can.
No, my morning monologue is that I came unprepared. And let me just tell you guys, like, how disappointed I am in myself for not aptly or amply preparing for this moment. So my monologue is really more of like a self-deprecating moment of like, I effed up.
Wow.
I'm embarrassed for myself and my family.
Wow.
And I hope to redeem myself tomorrow.
2 admissions here on the show. Usually when I don't prepare, which is maybe 2 to 3 times a week, you lean on like, listen, I got to talk about these Padres.
I'll be like underprepared for a show and I'll freak out for a second. And then I'll think about Jim and like that guy's never prepared. And so it automatically makes me feel better about myself.
He's known around these parts as the worst. Like we barely even say Jim Russell's name. We just say, hey, you know that guy who's the worst? And then we're all like, yeah. And then the conversation continues. For my morning monologue, I am going to give the final say on a long-standing debate. In-N-Out Burger is better than Whataburger, and it's not even close.
Facts. Except for breakfast.
So I never had Whataburger's breakfast in defense of Whataburger.
Well, yeah, but I mean, In-N-Out doesn't serve breakfast. They don't open until like 11.
Also true. True. So I go to Whataburger for the first time in my life yesterday. And I go into the restaurant. I get myself a burger. I didn't want to go through the drive-through window. I wanted there to be no excuse. I wanted to make sure I give them the best shot to perform. and I ate their burger, and I scarfed it down. I was hungry. It was the perfect time for me to give high marks to Whataburger. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't even come close. It doesn't even. They a little bit more generous on the patty size. Maybe slightly more interesting flavor concepts on the menu. Like you could get jalapenos on your burger. There's a couple of little items, but dudes, we got it better than Texas in terms of the cheeseburgers.
Wow.
I mean, it's not even a close battle. It's in and out by like 3 horse lengths.
Yeah, I agree with this as well. Had Whataburger for the first time just a couple years ago. Went out to New Mexico, went into a Whataburger because I thought, man, nobody stops talking about these, and I thought mid. I mean, like mid. I mean, mid. It's that
Facts.
Like sometimes Carl's Jr. will have a much better burger than a Whataburger.
I'm glad you mentioned that, and I love Carl and his son Carl Jr. All right, guys, coming up next, it's a Wednesday. We got to do red pill, blue pill, and we will. But before we run here, 877-767. That's right. That's the number to call. 877-767-4760 or 877-SORG-760. Caller number 5 at exactly 7:30 is going to win those Social D tickets. So if you're listening on the app, this gives you ample time to catch up to our terrestrial listeners. 877-SORG-760. Just dial that number and caller number 5 is going to see social distortion.
You cut out on that.
Religion.
You cut out on that number. Cut on that number, but it's 877-SORG-760. Yes, SORG-760. J-Riff thought you were saying a curse word, I think, or something very.
Oh no! Yeah, I'm over here dumping myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Red pill, blue pill on the other side. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Hey, this is Big Rich for the Man Zone at Golden Triangle Plastic Surgery. Anybody who's unfamiliar with the Man Zone, let me familiarize you right now. It is the place you need to go if you think you might be low on testosterone or you already know that you are, and you want to spend time getting treatment and advice from a trained professional, a double board certified plastic surgeon, a real doctor, is the medical director over at Golden Triangle Plastic Surgery, the Man Zone. So the Man Zone has Dr. Roy David, who, when I first met with him, I said to him, Doc, I don't know if I'm a candidate, but I'm definitely willing to get tested for testosterone treatment. And he looked at me, he's like, you're a former NFL player. There's no way you're low. And I was like, well, I don't know. I feel kind of sluggish in the morning. I get a little brain fog. I feel like I drink too much coffee. I don't have the energy I used to, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on, right? And he goes, no, I'm telling you, those symptoms, they can be caused from other things. We'll test you, though. So I go and I get my testosterone tested, and I'm on the low average range. He was shocked. He said, normally a 37-year-old doesn't register this low. He was like, you're a candidate. We can get you started tomorrow on testosterone treatment. I said, 100%, sign me up. Let's go. So literally the very next day, I'm picking up my first treatment. Within 2 weeks, I'm noticing the changes. I feel better. I'm waking up with more energy. I'm feeling more like myself. That's the only way to describe it. Like there's a lot of people who experience lethargy, or they experience I don't know, whatever it's called. Like you just don't quite feel right. You feel like you're a little bit in a funk, and they just blame it on aging. It's like, well, I'm 45 now. Well, I'm 56 now. Well, I'm in my 60s. I'm getting old. You hear that a lot. It's not true. It's not just because you're getting older. It's because in men, and this is clinically proven, you lose testosterone every single day you're alive. You just start losing it, and it keeps happening. Every year it gets a little bit lower, and it's this decline that you can actually reverse. And so by going to the Man Zone, by meeting with Dr. Roy David and his great staff, I've completely changed my life. I have more energy. I have less brain fog. In fact, that's kind of disappeared altogether. I wake up feeling good about getting a workout in. It's a complete reversal from where I was at just months ago. So whether you're in your late 30s or you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, this should be a requirement for everyone who's a man of a certain age. You need to go and get your testosterone tested. And where do you need to do it? At the Man Zone. Check them out at themanzone.com. That's themanzone.com. You've heard me talk about it on Instagram. You've heard me talk about it here on this show. I'm a huge proponent of this. Go get your testosterone replacement therapy at the Man Zone.
Yeah, man. Red pill, blue pill coming up next.
This update is presented by Fertilome. Padres have game 3 against the Cardinals of St. Louis this afternoon at 1:10. Joe Musgrove will get the start. Friars trying to right the ship after dropping the first 2 games of the series. Elsewhere in baseball, Bryce Harper blasted 3 homers yesterday in a 9-4 Phillies win over the Braves. And finally, the numbers are in. Iowa, their 94-87 victory over LSU averaged 12.3 million viewers for ESPN. That's the largest TV audience ever for a women's basketball game. Serving the last meal for slugs and snails, Fertilome's Come and Get It slug and snail bait protects your garden from those slimy pests, easy to use and safe around pets. Find Come and Get It at your favorite independent nursery or garden center. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live.
Oh, God. Making ourselves laugh here on a Wednesday. Big Rich and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. And you want to join us next Monday, this coming Monday, April 8th, 6 p.m. for the National Championship. We're going to be out at Whiskey Girl downtown in the heart of the gas lamp, 702 5th Avenue. Write that thing down. Or you can just remember it's right on the corner of G Street. Plenty of food options, bucket and draft beer specials, as well as tequila specials. Prize pack giveaways from both Whiskey Girl and San Diego Sports 760 all throughout the game. And then stay there, hang out with us post-game. We're going to do some karaoke right after the game. We're going to party. J-Riff, you going to be there?
Yeah, I'm missing my own show, but I'll be there for the party.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's the right way to do it.
We have our priorities, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Very busy during the midday, very available in the evening time. No big deal.
Very convenient.
Love that. I also love doing red pill, blue pill. It is a Wednesday staple. Basically, you're going to have to take a pill, but you're only going to have that decision for the rest of your life. So with that, red pill for our first and opening red pill, blue pill. Red pill, first half winning record for the Padres. Blue pill, second half winning record for the Padres. So we're not going to give you the record.
No.
But if you had to choose whether they're going to start strong or finish strong, which one do you choose? Red pill or blue pill?
I think you have to take the blue pill here. You have to say you're going to finish strong. So as much as I complain that they are not starting strong, it would be much worse as a Padre fan to go into the second half of the season and then they just go on a slump, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Blue pill on this one for me as well. Look, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. It's a tale as old as time. Don't judge me early, judge me late. These are all of the known, whatever you call them, sayings that we all share with each other because it's true. It really doesn't matter what this team looks like through the first couple of months. And if they end up finishing the first half with a couple of games below 500, I'm not panicking. But if they are sluggish as they're cruising to the finish of the season, even if they have a playoff bid in their favor, it's not going to make me feel good about their playoff hopes. So, yeah, 100% blue pill here for me.
Yeah.
J-Riff, do you want to weigh in?
Yeah, I hate both these options.
He hates
both.
You know,
Question.
just for efficiency's sake, I'm going to agree with both of you. Second half winning record's better. Hopefully they win enough in the first half to make a playoff if they can pull that off.
Yeah, blue pill. Blue pill's all around. Our next red pill, blue pill option here. Red pill, you have the body of a horse. Blue pill, you have the head of a horse. So you're either a centaur or a minotaur?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I guess a minotaur was a bull.
Yeah, this is more like what's that? That cartoon is it BoJack Horseman?
Yeah, Will Arnett.
Exactly that.
Yeah. I'm trying to well, then again, the body of the horse. I mean, look,
you could run so fast. Yeah, there are some options or some
benefits.
Pluses. Yeah, benefits.
Yeah, you gain 2 legs and also so much more. So much.
Do you
more.
think that would make you more popular, like in life?
Well,
probably
it depends
would.
on I would assume. I mean, certainly more confident. I mean, there's no question about that. I'm gonna, you know what though, a horse head. It's a great conversation starter. Like, hey, why the long face? And then I have to explain it. I'm gonna go with the horse head.
Yeah, I think I would too, and mostly because I keep thinking I would miss thumbs.
Right.
Yeah, I would, because I'd have hooves.
hooves.
Oh
right,
wait, do I? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Do I still have arms?
Nobody. Can you imagine how ridiculous you would look if you were
If you had
you had
six-
horse legs and then just arms sprouting from the neck of the horse?
Wait, wasn't that a centaur? Didn't they have arms?
No, they had just the
Oh,
legs.
just
Would
the
it change
legs.
now? Would it change both your minds? Because I'm definitely like a 100% blue pill here, like or red pill. I want the body, but like, would it change your mind if you
Because
had
it's
wings?
so muscular.
Well, that's true. I don't need the horse's muscles, but nor the other things. I just want to run fast. Like I think it'd be dope to be able to run fast.
Just say he's got a giant girthy.
All right, listen,
ego.
guys, listen,
A
listen,
giant
listen,
girthy
listen,
ego
listen.
is all I was going to say. Ego.
Listen.
God.
Would it change your mind if the horse's body had wings, so you were a Pegasus rather than a
Ooh.
centaur?
I
That changes
fly.
everything,
I
Jay.
can
Rip.
fly.
But I keep picturing how jarring it would look if it's just a horse, even a winged horse, and then it just has my head. Like how disturbing that would be. Can you imagine if I flew and landed in your driveway? I was like, "What's up? Are we going to the game? You want to hop on?" We don't have to pay for parking.
Make me laugh.
You know what, Rich? It makes me really uncomfortable to ride you to Petco Park. Dude, it is fine. We're going to beat traffic.
Wait, were you just playing royalty free rain sounds?
I didn't mean to. It's a track list.
It's working well. Do we skip the next one and actually ask like the sports one?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Although I do love, maybe we'll have to return to red pill, blue pill later in the show just so we can ask this question.
Okay.
Okay, red pill. Yeah, and you can only have one of these back in San Diego forever, right? We'll stay with Padres. We'll have the Padres, but red pill, you get an NFL team back. Blue pill, you get an NBA team back. Which one are you taking?
This is no question. Give me all the red pills, all of them. I want to go to football games. I want that back. I want the tailgates back. I want the camaraderie back with the NFL team. Dude, how is there not an NFL team in the most beautiful spot on planet Earth here? Come on.
I agree with that. Yeah, red pill all day long for me. I mean, look, you for all the reasons you just pointed out and so many more, red pill. J-Riff, you feel like you're a contrarian sometimes. Are you going to go blue pill and ruin the party here? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, like I am an NBA fan before I'm an NFL fan.
Wow, really?
Okay, so
But I'd really like to see a WNBA team here.
Dude, I would love to see it. I would be so on board. But listen. Selfishly, if I was going for my own personal benefit, NBA team. If I care about the city of San Diego and what I think is better for the greater good of San Diego, NFL team all day. So
Really?
Because I care about the city of San Diego and the amazing people that live here, I'm going red pill.
I am shocked by this answer, by the way. I mean, not shocked that you picked red pill. I'm shocked that you would have gone blue pill all day long. Personally,
if I only cared about me, or if everybody here I thought would appreciate NBA team more, I would choose blue pill.
I got you. I got you. You know what? This is why people don't like you, Jonathan.
It's one of many reasons.
It's like there are so many, but like this is one of the more. It's just like first of all, how do you like the NBA better than the NFL? Like, where did that come?
Yeah,
because I just grew up on the NBA. It's nostalgia for me. I used to grow up watching games with my dad and going to games with my dad, and that's just that's how I fell in love with sports.
Well, you're gonna pull the dad card.
Yeah.
You're doing that to us this morning. You sick bastard.
Rich, I gotta be.
You're tugging at my heartstrings.
Wait, can I say something really quickly? I have never said on the air once in my 3 years of doing this that my father passed away. So thank you for ripping that Band-Aid off.
Wow. Oh no.
You not once?
I've never said it.
Oh my
on a hot
gosh.
We just outed J-Riff?
Did I? And it's my fault. Oh my God.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
You know what?
Well,
I'm
you know
just
what?
gonna. I think I'm gonna disconnect my microphone.
Listen,
and that's it. That's the end of my broadcast career.
I'll tell you what.
That's how it ended.
I did not grow up watching the NBA. I grew up eating. Okay. And I got real good at it. And I ate for a long time. In fact, I ate for 43 and a half years. And then ST Fat Loss stepped in and they said, hey, look, you're too good at this, pal. We can help you out, though. We can help you out where you can still eat and then also lose weight. And I went, wait, for real? And they said, yeah, you're not going to have to exercise. You're not going to have to count calories or points or do any of that stuff. We're going to show you the healthy way to lose weight. You're going to lose weight fast. That way you can get out to the beach this summer. You can put on that bikini just like Brittany Mahomes wears. You want to look good out there in the sand.
Dude, yeah.
And I said,
Mini
yes.
bikini. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Wait till you see your bod with less tan lines.
That's correct.
And TD was sold.
Yeah, done. I was sold. In fact, actually, I was very skeptical because they said you're going to lose 20 to 30 pounds in 2 months' time. And I went, 20 to 30 pounds in 2 months? That seems impossible. There's no way that happens without taking some medication fad diet, right? Wrong. They show you the healthy way. You lose the weight. In fact, I was almost down 30 pounds in 30 days time, not 60 days time, 30 days time. I had almost lost 30 pounds. So into this thing, losing 31 pounds. And now the best part is I'm keeping that weight off, staying in the maintaining phase here. And they can do the same thing for you. You want to feel better. You want to look better. You want just life to seem a little bit easier, because I know it sounds crazy, but it does when you drop that extra weight, those unwanted pounds that you've been lugging around. All of a sudden you knock that off. You feel so much better. You look so much better. Your family's so much happier with you because you're not so fat. No, I'm just kidding. You're going to add years to your life. So they're happier with you because you're going to be around longer, because you're letting that heart work a little less hard, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But go there right now, sdfatloss.com. Schedule your free consultation today. They're going to help you out. Wayne, Chloe over there. They'll walk you through the whole thing. They'll hold your hand through the whole thing. Do it with a friend. Do it with a buddy. Do it with a wife, a spouse, a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you got, and make it work for you. And they will. sdfatloss.com. Coming up, $20 a snap. Guess I'd take it. Talking about it next. Our 2024
iHeartRadio Music
iHeartRadio
Awards was a historic night of music, and you could stream the whole event now on Hulu. So grab that a look.
Wait, can I interrupt
TD,
you really
you
quick,
mentioned
Rich?
it.
Really quickly. Sorry, I forgot
what do you
something.
got?
I forgot something.
Yeah.
All right, you're good.
It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild.
It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good, Jerry. I was talking about the 2024 iHeartRadio Music Awards, a historic night of music. You could stream the whole event right now on Hulu. Amazing performances as always. But TD, you mentioned before the break, so you can earn money in the NFL. Not a lot of people know this, just for playing time. It was an agreement that was hashed out between the players union and the owners years ago. And it's all structured off of your salary. So if you're a low salary guy who ends up playing a bunch of reps in the NFL, you can earn a lot more money in a year-end bonus. So like, for example, Brock Purdy, who played every single snap of the season for the San Francisco 49ers and had obviously a good run to the Super Bowl. They lost to the Chiefs. He earned an incredible amount of money after the season ended.
Almost his entire paycheck.
Yeah.
So
I think it was upwards of like $800,000, something like that.
Yeah, it was like 860
high.
grand. But he was not the highest paid. I think, or as far as the performance base, I think he came in like 8th place there. So nearly $1 million he added to his paycheck. But Aaron Rodgers also got a check. You know what, Rich? What was the smallest check that you ever received from the NFL?
Okay, for player performance bonuses, I want to say it was probably my rookie year.
Okay,
because I had the signing bonus and the limited playing time, so I didn't earn a lot. Yeah, it was very small.
Was it under $1,000?
No,
okay.
I think it was above 1,000.
Yeah, okay, well, Aaron Rodgers, he got cut a check from the NFL for his 4 snaps for $81.14. That's how much Aaron Rodgers' performance was worth last season.
Okay. $20 a snap.
Yeah.
You said it right.
Yeah.
So again, high salary guy, small amount of playing time. It's going to equal out through whatever equation they use to a very small stipend at the end of the year. Holy cow.
That check right now, as McDonald's raises their prices up north to $19, $20 for a Big Mac meal. He couldn't buy a family of 4 McDonald's with his performance-based salary. Wow.
No, there's no chance.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no chance. Aaron Rodgers, looking to make a return to the football field, is not going to be the VP running mate with Kennedy.
Yeah.
So RFK has gone in a different direction. So he is going to remain the Jets starting quarterback, much to the delight of Robert Saleh. Yeah.
I'm blown away.
There goes RFK's chances.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. He threw that out the window.
Awesome.
Lame.
You have that. Well, they would have had my vote, and now I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And now I'm not sure.
It's National Burrito Day, guys. Big day.
You're damn right.
Yeah, National Burrito Day.
Huge.
So Sombrero Mexican food should be stopping by here. I'm keeping waiting for the door to open and hasn't yet. So
can I say something about burritos in general?
Yeah.
Sombreros, burritos specifically.
Yeah.
But if there's one place where every time I've ordered a burrito, like, because you have those one-off experiences that you're, where you're just like, oh, this isn't doing it. Sombreros burritos, they're generous portions. And then when you're eating them in the car, I don't know how they do it, but whatever they wrap it in, somehow the burrito stays in the foil and in the paper.
Yeah.
And it doesn't end up all over my lap. I like everything about a Sombreros burrito.
Yeah, I agree with that. They have never missed for me. Every single time the order's spot on, and they cater too.
They also have a veggie burrito for us vegans.
Yeah, they do have. Are you throwing that out there so in case Javier's listening?
I'm praying that when Javier walks in, he has a vegan Sombrero Mexican food burrito for me.
Yeah. I mean, what is it?
By the way, our listeners have weighed in. Speaking of J-Riff, they've all said I owe a lap for the comment that I spun. I spun out there. So I'm going to take a quick lap around my room. You can watch on StreamYard if you watch. Hang on a second.
Okay, as Rich does the lap, yes, that is over the bed. What? You're shoeless.
Did you see a spring pop right there?
Are you doing the show? You're shoeless, Rich, this morning.
Yeah, dude, this is how good of a broadcaster I am, guys. I can do a show wearing any amount of clothing. Like, I can wear a lot of clothing. I can wear very little. It's never stopped me, ever. So,
Incredible.
Yeah, I'm proud of that.
Incredible. Well, let's have some burritos on National Burrito Day coming up. Let's break down some Padres baseball. And could an NFL star be heading to the WWE? What? We'll get to all of it next. Big Rich, Cheaty, and Fletch.
This update is presented by Progressive Insurance. Breaking news out of the National Football League. Star wide receiver Stephon Diggs. He's on the move. He's being traded from the Buffalo Bills to the Houston Texans for draft pick compensation. Undoubtedly, that'll be a topic coming up next year on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. The Padres have game 3 against the Cardinals this afternoon at 1:10, trying to shake off the first 2 losses of the series. Joe Musgrove will get the start, and yesterday Bryce Harper had a day for the Phillies, bombing 3 homers in a 9-4 victory over Atlanta. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join the growing team at Progressive Insurance. Go to progressive.com/careers. Apply online today.
Breaking news.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Yeah, on a Wednesday. And happy Wednesday to those who celebrate. But you just heard it there first from J-Riff, who's filling in for our injured co-host, Fletch, who is actually, as it stands right now, he's probably an hour away from getting his ankle or his leg operated on.
Yeah,
he broke his leg.
He's checked in.
Yeah. He broke his leg 2 weeks ago. It was discovered that it wasn't healing well enough without the surgery. So he's getting some plates and screws. So we see the well wishes on the text line on social media. We'll pass those along to Fletch as he's under the knife here in just a few minutes. In the meantime, Stephon Diggs is now a Houston Texan.
What?
So the former Minnesota Vikings standout wide receiver who did so much with the Vikings before doing even more with the Buffalo Bills, has now officially been traded to the Houston Texans. He'll join CJ Stroud as they try to win the AFC South and get back to the postseason. Boys, knee-jerk reactions. Let's go around the table. TD, what are we thinking here?
Shocked here with this one. I mean, in 1 second, the Texans got so much better and the Bills got so much worse. I mean, it's incredible to me. This is going to be fantastic for CJ Stroud. The Texans, who have already made a lot of moves here in the offseason, continue to pile it on here with some big ones. The Texans,
So not only does it make the Bills worse, it makes the Texans so much better that they have to be discussed as a burgeoning Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
Like, that's a potential contender in the AFC. It's pretty amazing.
what were you playing for us there, J-Riff?
Nothing.
Don't
Don't worry about it. It didn't happen.
Some NFL music?
Yeah, well, but it wasn't for you.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize.
That's fine.
I didn't realize you had
That's
somebody
fine.
else
Yeah,
in there
we'll just
that you were
butt
playing
out of
some
the
music
things-
for. You have any
fine.
good
You don't see them?
reactions here?
You don't see them in here?
Actually, it's hard to see
Is it
through the
just me?
glass.
Okay.
I actually just focus in on my reflection as I'm so enamored by myself.
That's something I would say.
Figured.
Dude, it's a huge okay. It's been no secret that Stephon Diggs has had his qualms about being in Buffalo the last couple of years. Like, there was that, didn't he like leave the team for a certain period of time and people were like riding him and he's like, oh yeah, I'm back, and everybody was like protecting him and Josh Allen was like, this guy is my guy.
That was a preseason.
That was
problem.
preseason, right? Yeah. Like he has appeared to feel displeasured by being in Buffalo. Not exactly.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills haven't had a key to success. Like, they have an amazing quarterback who loves to turn over the ball. Their defense likes to give up big plays. Like, they have problems other than their wide receiving core. So I think that is this like Rich? Well, what do you see this as? Like, what's the approach here? Because obviously, like, the Texans won this trade, especially with how they're built. Like, this is a winning move for that organization. It maybe seems like a step back present day for the Bills, but is this like we know that we have major problems and holes that we need to plug, so we are going to take a step back and start working towards that?
This is one of those classic ebb and flow moments with a team that hasn't found providence with its current formation. Like, so the Bills they have a problem. Their problem is the Kansas City Chiefs. The only way to solve that problem is by changing something, and changing something drastic. I mean, there was conversation in the preseason, like you brought up, J-Riff, with Stephon Diggs, like maybe he's becoming a problem. So there was speculation that maybe he could be traded, that trades were discussed. And then you saw the expose about Sean McDermott and some of the loose language he was using during certain meetings in the preseason years ago, comparing the teamwork of the 9/11 attackers to the teamwork that the Buffalo Bills need to show. Like, what? Huh?
Right.
Like, I guess any public speaker can have swings and misses, but that's an awful one. And they were on a 2-game losing skid. And then all of a sudden they went on the road to Arrowhead. They win. They go back home to, I believe it was Buffalo, to beat the Steelers. And all of a sudden their playoff hopes looked like they were going to be completely intact, potentially winning the division. And then they go to the playoffs and they win, but then they run into the Chiefs again. So if this is going to keep happening, where they face the final boss in the AFC and they keep losing, whether it's in the divisional round, in the AFC championship game, it doesn't matter. You're losing to a team that you need to beat eventually. Patrick Mahomes is not going anywhere. Andy Reid is not going anywhere. So who needs to change? It's the Bills. Mm-hmm. So they trade Stephon Diggs. He goes to the Texans. And I think this is going to be one of those ebb tides for the Bills, and maybe this is going to be a down year for them as they reload for the future.
Well, this is this isn't a athletic ability issue here. This has to be a culture issue, right? I mean, this has to be the fact that Stephon Diggs wants out, and or maybe he's unhappy, and so the Bills go, you know what? We're tired of trying to figure out if we can cure a bad apple or someone who has a poor taste in their mouth. We'll go ahead and make the trade, and then we'll figure out how to rebuild this thing. It also feels like across the NFL, whenever you hear of animosity, it's always the quarterback and the wide receiver. It's like you have a front man for a band and the lead guitarist, and they're vying for who is the most important out there on the field. So you get this animosity, and then they break up, and then there's, some kind of problem, whatever it is. I don't know why it feels that way so much so here with Stephon Diggs. Well, maybe I do know why, because he tells us that there's a problem all the time. And then the Bills have to scramble and say that there isn't a problem and everything's good and everything's fine. And then now he goes to the Texans. Look, I hope he's happy in Texas. I hope he's happy out there in Houston, because with CJ Stroud throwing to him, this is going to be great. I mean, the same feeling we had with him out on the Bills, being a weapon out there on the field. I see it again out here at the Texans. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I look at it. I look at it this way. The Texans just got so much better, and the Bills may have also unburdened themselves from a locker room cancer. Look, Stephon Diggs forced his way out of Minnesota. He was unhappy. And that final year in Minnesota, I believe he was playing with mostly backups. It was Case Keenum. It was others who were, holding down the fort while Cousins came back from injury, if I'm remembering correctly. And then he goes to Buffalo and he's playing with Josh Allen. And I remember those first couple of years with Josh Allen, everything was great. Like, Stephon Diggs was pumped to be there in Buffalo because they had a real chance at winning a Super Bowl. Well, as time has moved on, and again, they keep running into this final boss in the AFC, I'm sure Diggs is now looking at his NFL career and saying, look, the money's great. I'm getting paid like a superstar. There's no question the money's great. But all of a sudden, your brain flips over to, I need to secure my legacy. Mm-hmm. Like, I need to find a team that I can latch onto that's on the upward climb, that I can have the success I'm looking for. So I'm sure, the way I know how some of these trades work out, especially blockbusters like this one, and we'll see what the draft compensation looks like for the other side of this, because the Bills may get very rich in draft picks here. But when we look at a situation like this, we have to evaluate from this standpoint. Like, was this the only team the Bills were talking to? Most likely no. Was right. Diggs thrilled with some of the other teams he could have potentially landed with? The answer is most likely no. So this is probably a team that not only the Bills found the most draft capital to trade with, but also Stephon Diggs signed off on. So he sees C.J. Stroud and the Texans as a team that has like a legitimate chance to win a Super Bowl. And I agree with that assessment. I think Stroud and the Texans are going to be a team that let's put it this way. They're going to be a team to beat in the AFC. They already were last year in his rookie year.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I'm curious, though, how long Diggs stays happy. So if the Texans don't do it next year or make a solid run next season, does that sour Stephon Diggs just like he got sour out there in Buffalo? And then now the Texans are dealing with the same issue of what he was giving Josh Allen and Sean McDermott out there.
All right, listen, if you missed it, huge breaking news out of the NFL. The Texans have traded for Stephon Diggs. The wide receiver goes from Buffalo to Houston. We'll get to more of this on the other side. Also, a Padres breakdown. Also, we have Burrito Day we're celebrating here on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. So much to get to, but first, let's hit a halftime here. I love it every time.
Wait, where did the J riff come from?
I cut it from a different bite.
Like a different promo?
Yeah, like I do the J riff reports on the Darren Smith show, so I just cut off like where it says like J riff report, and I just replaced Fletch's name with it.
Good. I like that you made it much louder.
Of course.
Yeah.
J riff. In case you guys didn't know, Stephon Diggs has been traded from the Bills to the Texans. I will say one more thing on this before I get to like the thing I actually want to talk about here on halftime. Stephon Diggs is watching too much NBA because he is taking a play out of the playbook of the player empowerment era that is plaguing the NBA. Now, I'm pro player empowerment, so plaguing maybe is the wrong term, negative connotation, but a lot of people don't like it. James Harden, Jimmy Butler, two of the most formidable names that come to mind about players who have forced their way off of teams in multiple situations. Stephon Diggs is really following that script right now of like, James Harden was unhappy. He did all these things to get out. That's what I'm going to do. Jimmy Butler did the same thing. So we'll see if this becomes a trend in the National Football League. What are you laughing about, TD?
Oh, apparently National Burrito Day is tomorrow. So Dominic and Javier are like, I mean, we can bring you a burrito if you want, but we're coming in tomorrow.
That's embarrassing.
I'll say right now, Travis Dale.
Take a lap.
The problem with this show is there's too many Ron Burgundies and there's not enough Veronica Corningstones. Like, we all read whatever's on the prompter. So our apologies to Javier and Dom. We will see you tomorrow on National Burrito Day.
I still love sombrero, and they still cater too.
All right, let me get to what I'm actually excited for here during this halftime, guys. The women's I am more excited about the women's Final Four than I'm about the men's. Like,
I knew this was going to come up on the show. I knew it. You are counterculture J-Riff.
Yeah, right.
Everything that's like, guys, soccer in about 10 years is going to be more popular than football.
Well, first of all, worldwide it is. But I work with Darren, man. Like, of course, I'm going to absorb all of the natural descent. Like, I'm going to absorb from the host of the show that I typically work on, right? So, like, obviously, there's going to be shades of that wherever I go. The reason I'm excited is just the storylines are better. Like, the problem with the men's game is that you have you have one and dones and you have transfers. There's never any time to emotionally attach yourself to some of these players. So, like, DJ Burns at NC State's an amazing story. You didn't know DJ Burns at Winthrop before this, right? Like he hasn't been at NC State for 4 years. But Paige Beckers is in her second year, technically third year at UConn. Obviously, we have Caitlin Clark, who's played 4 incredible years at Iowa. The player that I'm most excited about watching is Tahina Pau at South Carolina. She is a San Diego legend. She literally is a La Jolla Country Day legend, one of the greatest high school basketball players ever in the nation, not just in San Diego. And she's going to be center stage on a team that is 36-0 coming up here on Friday night. So I'm really excited about South Carolina NC State featuring San Diego's own Tahina Pau. I'm really excited about Iowa UConn because we have Paige Beckers, the future, against Caitlin Clark, the present. Also, Caitlin Clark wanted to go to UConn. They didn't even give her a sniff, and here she is with an opportunity for revenge. So I'm really excited about this women's Final Four.
Man.
Karina Pau?
Tahina.
Okay. The lady's so nice to add a name her twice.
That's right.
La Jolla Country Day, a legend. I will be watching Unfortunately, none of that. Look, here's the point.
I was like,
I tried, guys. I tried.
I'm just gonna. I guess I'll just say I'll be watching it too.
I'll tell you, I've tried. You look. It's not a sexist thing. I married a women's volleyball player. I love certain women's sports. I like volleyball. I like women's tennis. I'm a huge Serena Williams fan. There are certain sports that I can get into. Cornhole. Any of the women's tournaments.
Wait, you're turning on watching women's cornhole.
I've watched more women's cornhole than I've had women's basketball, and I'm thoroughly entertained.
Same.
There's an ulterior motive here.
Okay, hang on. No, women's curling. Women's curling. I've also watched more of that. Beach volleyball. What else? But anyways, the point is, it's not a sexist thing. This Caitlin Clark storyline. Trust me when I tell you. I mean, I've done updates on it too. What she's doing is phenomenal. She's an incredible player. She's bringing more eyes and attention to the game than ever before. And more sports, the better. I'm supportive of all of it. It's just not my thing. I tried watching women's basketball in college at Penn State. I didn't like it. I try to watch it on TV. I don't like it. Tournament time, I turn it on. I don't like it. It just doesn't do anything for me. It's like certain people, they're like, oh, I can only watch college football. I hate pro football. It's like, well, why? It's the same game. It for me, like men's college basketball, I get it. Men's, or I should say the NBA, I get it. But women's college basketball and the WNBA does absolutely nothing for me. It just doesn't.
I'm on the same page, and I tried, and I do like the storylines. And actually, J-Riff, as you talk about it, I'm like, yeah, right on. I'm in. But I'm the same way. I think if I turn it on, I'd be like, I'll probably just watch something else and then check out the final score here at the end. But I mean, like, look, if I'm watching the Olympics, like the Winter Olympics, the women out on the ice rink. I mean, that's insane. I would much rather watch the women do that. The women in gymnastics, I think, are far better. I mean, it's just more entertaining. I'm not talking about athletic ability, whatever it is. It's just more entertaining to me.
Yeah. In fact, women's speed skating, women's bobsledding, there's a couple other events that I like. I mean, they completely outshine the men's game. And again, I 100% do not know exactly why, but they're just better sportsmen. Anyways, look, the point is, I'm very excited for Caitlin Clark and for Tahina Pow. Yeah. Also, I'm excited for you, J-Riff, because you just look like a pig in slop right now. I mean, you're just college basking and balling it up there. I mean,
this is the life.
No
man.
love for NC State in the Final Four. He's all about South Carolina in the women's Final Four. No problem.
Yep. You know what I'm all about? Giving away some social distortion tickets. Not yet.
Well, hang on. We already did that.
Islands gift card.
You paying attention to the show or what?
There's a lot of people asking me a lot of questions when no one else is here in the studio, J-Riff. A $50 gift card to Islands. We still have that, right?
You're damn right we do.
That's what I meant. I was excited about. Okay, so $50 gift card to Islands. We're not giving away just yet, but you're going to want to hang on here and listen to the next interview with Kevin Acey, our best friend in the whole wide world. We're going to talk some Padres. I'm assuming we need to break to get to that on time, right, J-Riff?
Yeah.
Okay.
But first, I want to tell everybody about my shrinking waistline.
Yep.
Okay, TD? I mean, I think we all can agree. There have been some decisions made over the course of our time working together that may not have been health forward, I would argue.
Yeah, in fact, we had management here question some of our choices several times.
Yeah. They were like, for example, why do you guys keep setting fires in the studio? Are you cooking in there? And our answer was always reluctantly, well, yeah, we're a radio show. We're trying to do sports talk.
Yeah.
How else are we supposed to do a radio show?
Right.
Anyways, so we became super, super obese. And what we needed was the help of a weight loss team. And that weight loss team was Wayne and Chloe at sdfatloss.com who got us right. Look, if you want to lose weight the natural way, it's simple. Go to sdfatloss.com, get in touch with them, just like us. Travis, this is no joke. I know we joke about it a lot, but Travis lost over 30 pounds. I lost over 35 pounds. Fletch lost damn near 50 pounds. We look better and feel better than we ever have. So if you started your new year in 2024 saying, this is going to be the year I lose all the weight, and maybe you tried a fad diet, you lost some weight, you yo-yo dieted, you gained it all back. It's time to switch it to something that works. SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com.
He's our best friend in the whole wide world. We do it every single Wednesday here. We'll talk to him next. Who am I talking about? Of course, Mr. Kevin Acee. Let's talk Padres next.
This update's presented by Progressive Insurance. Stephon Diggs is on the move from the Bills to the Texans. Texans giving up draft compensation out to Buffalo in return. The Padres have game 3 at 1:10 against the St. Louis Cardinals, trying to shake off a 6-2 and 5-2 loss in the first 2 games of the series. Yesterday, Bryce Harper hit 3 bombs in a Phillies win over the Braves, and 12.4 million people on average watched LSU and Iowa, by far the most ever in a women's collegiate basketball game. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits? One of the country's top workplaces. Join the growing team at Progressive Insurance. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Yeah, it's Big Rashidi and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760, our best friend in the whole wide world. He joins us here every single Wednesday, and today, no different. Mr. Kevin AC on the line. Kevin, how are you, buddy?
Oh, magnificent. I am. How are you guys today?
We're feeling real good, except for this losing record I didn't want to see for the Padres.
Yeah. I know how much fans like to hear, hey, it's early, calm down. I know how much people like to hear that because it really worked out last year.
Well, I think that's the problem, Kevin. We have been saying that, and we're trying to say that again, but we do keep looking back to last year, and I guess that's where I'll kick things off here. I mean, should we be worried 8 games in at a 3-5 record?
No, not at all. That does not mean that making these comparisons and asking these questions and trying to see what's different and what's the same and kind of judging it and learning. That doesn't mean that's not valid. I remember that I used to go back and forth every year with Phillip Rivers. He'd say, this is a new team. And I'd say, yeah, you're right. It makes a lot of sense. Same guys, Phillip. So when push comes to shove, what's going to happen? Why is it going to be different? And I think we're still developing that. We're watching that develop with this team.
This is why you're a good reporter, Kevin, because if Philip would have said that to me, I'd been like, you're right, Philip. Moving on to my next question here. No follow-up.
I know the temptation. Yes, there was a lot of – first off, it was always with respect, but also with such authority and such passion that you were like, man, I really want to believe this. I just kind of want to, listen to him. Yes.
Well, there's certain guys who embody that level of confidence where they say things and you feel certain about them. And I got to tell you, early on so far, Mike Schilt is one of those guys for me. Now, I felt similar, but not the same about Bob Melvin. Bob Melvin, he kind of gave off like the elder statesman. Like there was almost like a wisdom there where, not everything your grandfather says is perfect, but he's been at it, this thing called life, for so long. You're just like, nah, I think he knows a thing or two. That was Bob Melvin. For me, Mike Schilt, it's a little bit like, no, this guy kind of sees the future a little bit. Like he's putting the pieces together still. They're building a culture still. But when he talks about what he projects is going to happen with this team, I don't know if it's bluster or I don't know if it's because he's seen so many younger or, mixtures of inexperienced with experienced teams come together and coalesce to do something special during his successful tenure in St. Louis. But there's something about him that makes me want to believe. Are you getting the same vibe from the clubhouse around Mike Schilt?
I am. And also I appreciate that you kind of assess this situation. You compared it with last year and the two guys, and I think you got a good read on it. I believe that Mike Schilt is so intentional in his one-on-one interactions, which is, I believe, where he's at his best, that it has really affected these guys. I do. I believe on a one-on-one level with Manny, on a one-on-one level with Joe, on a one-on-one level with Jay Cronenworth. I believe that it worked in the off season and it carried over into spring, of course, because that was the whole goal. And it's carried over in the group, and that whatever the delivery is, whatever anything, so intentional and they believe it's sincere that I do think that that is the case. Now, does it work? Does it work any differently than with Bob? I mean, well, that's something that we'll see.
Kevin, in the Giants series, we saw a little bit more tinkering with the lineup in terms of bringing players in off the bench throughout the game. Last two games, we've only seen 2 subs. Is this intentional, or is this more of a, you know what, I'm going to let this lineup be the lineup, try to build that consistency, that chemistry, especially on the back end, in hopes that like we can actually, like you said, continue to build that culture? Or was it just situational and it didn't feel like it was a necessity to have to utilize the depth as much the last 2 games?
I have the same questions. I believe it was situational. Okay. Just, I mean, the pitching didn't change as much, or the handedness. And, I do believe it was situational. However, Mike has made a few comments when questioning him about kind of his substitution patterns and who he's using when, that let you know that it wasn't going to always be so intense. It wasn't going to always be that way. So we're still learning. We're learning, Mike. We're learning pitcher usage, subs. Certainly, I would say that he's already established that he manages, man. He doesn't sit back. He manages. So I would think that would continue to some extent. But in terms of the specifics like that, I have the same questions where I'm watching and going, okay. I mean, Bob kind of lulled me to sleep a little bit, right? Like, and it was a little bit of that wisdom stuff, right? And everything. And plus, you were just kind of waiting, just like Bob was, for the big four just to take care of things. Well, it's a different team, a different philosophy now, and I'm kind of fascinated to see how this all unfolds with how Mike manages.
Our Padres insider writes for the UT, Kevin AC, joining us here. And Kevin, I've been looking through all the articles. I haven't seen the use of the nickname that we gave Jackson Farrell Merrill anywhere. Yeah, I mean, when are you going to sneak in the Farrell part of it? Because he's playing like a wild animal,
Is he, or are you kind of like stretching that because you want that to be a thing? Expectations are the enemy of happiness. So I would say that if you would probably be happier, I'm not saying either way when I might do it or not do it, but you might be happier if you just thought, hey, Kevin's probably not going to do that.
Wait, so should we seed all expectations then for this team to be happy?
Well, and also, like, I mean, did Kevin AC also just refer to himself in the third person?
He did, yeah, he did. He did refer to himself in the third person.
No, I was. Look, I make enough blunders when I'm talking about like not owning a pair of jeans or things like that. You guys don't have to foist onto me that I was talking in the third person. I was speaking as Travis. Like Kevin is not going to.
Right. But were you saying that like I should think that because you're going to surprise us and it's going to show up in today's article?
You're a real peach. Like, you're a lot of fun there. I can imagine. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, he really is a peach. He's fuzzy and he's got stones, Kevin. He really does.
In my kidneys.
Yeah. Roll it over for the day.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's cool.
What you think I meant.
I love you.
Kevin AC joining us. Hey, Kev, I have one for you, and this is more about your clothing choices. So still no jeans. I mean, I know we covered that at dinner when but we haven't convinced you to maybe try out denim, or I don't know, maybe like the couple hundred years of the American West hasn't convinced you to try out a pair of Levi's. Like they're still standing strong.
I've owned them before and worn them plenty. At present, I do not own a pair of jeans. It's been a couple of years since I have felt the denim against my bare skin. I don't like it.
Wow. Yeah.
I like a little Lulu. Are you familiar with ABC technology?
Wait, Lululemon?
Yeah. So he's right about that. The ABC joggers. Are you talking about those specifically?
No, it's the pants, the regular like kind of slacks. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're comfortable. But
wait,
hang on. Hang on.
Yeah,
I could wear denim jeans as pajamas. Like I could wear denim jeans when I'm out working.
Same.
When I'm like
the maternity kind, Rich. Like the kind that
those are the kinds that fit.
Like 1 a.m, that kind of stretch out, or You actually
hang
like
on.
real jeans. Is that what we're talking about? Let's be honest.
Okay, well,
I
listen,
only
I need
own-
a roomier jean.
I
Sure,
only
yeah.
own denim jeans. That's all I own.
Okay. And that's cool. That's your thing.
Check it
Yeah,
out, though.
that's
Check
great.
this out.
Can I
Check
ask
this out.
Kevin a baseball question?
No. Hold on.
I'm
hold on.
used to when
Wait,
Kevin
wait.
AC is on the show. I'm used to hearing him
Wait,
talk
You've got the
baseball.
wrong show.
Hold
You're
on.
used to the wrong show.
Hold
This
on.
is the morning show,
Hang
Jared.
on.
Good morning.
Hang on. Check this
Yeah,
out.
go ahead. Yeah,
Kevin.
TD, please hit him with some facts.
Yeah, no, these aren't facts. This is an offer I would like to throw on the table, okay?
Yeah.
We will pay. We would like to take you, Kevin, down to like the boot barn, and then we'll all get fitted in full cowboy gear. Hats, the shirts, the Wranglers will get boots, huh? A belt
This is a good
buckle,
idea.
and
This
then
is a great offer.
then we all head out to dinner, somewhere real nice like, and we'll all go in Western style. Are you in?
I said yes right now.
What if you said yes? I mean,
The
We would
only
freak
condition
out.
that I had was that where we went was Hamishaw Junction.
okay.
That's a done deal.
Yeah,
I don't even know where that is.
Yeah,
We're
me either.
going.
I have no idea either.
Huh?
And we are posting it on TikTok.
Hamishaw Junction.
Yeah, type that in
Yeah.
real quick.
Hamishaw Junction.
Please tell me it's like everything's great.
Wait.
It's a gay bar that we're all going to together.
Which I would be fine with. Listen, there's a cowboy hat in the name or on the logo. Yes.
100%. 100%.
Kevin Yuki Matsui. So he's gone
What?
4 batters, 4 batters,
What?
4 batters, 3 batters. At what? Obviously they're trying to ramp him up. At what point are we going to see a little bit more flexibility with him on the mound?
Well, you know what? When Yuki starts getting outs consistently, I think that he is going to be a guy that they can use in a lot of roles. Look, right now you kind of don't know what you have in Yuki Matsui. It takes the guys that come over from a different league and a different level some time. I know that he said that he had gotten over it. I know that he's pitched very well at times, but there is a new ball. There's all sorts of newness. I don't know what to expect from Yuki. A couple of those I think were 4 outs. Yesterday was 4 batters.
4 batters,
0
right?
outs. And so, like this is a guy that could definitely fill a very important role for him. No idea what's going on with Yuki Matsui right now.
We got locations in El Cajon, Santee, and Scripps.
Yeah,
Which
I don't
There is one in Scripps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
9860
Wow.
Carroll Canyon Road in San Diego.
Wow.
Turns out it is not a gay bar. It is an eatery of sorts. And we are going to go to the boot barn, Kevin, and we're going to get dressed up all nice like, and we're going to go down to the junction in Scripps. Kevin?
Oh, that's the one we're going to. We're going to be real. We're going to be all authentic about it. We're going to the Scripps, Hamishaw Junction.
Which one would you choose?
Oh, I think he wants to go to the one on Hamishaw Road.
Yeah,
he
you
wants to
want-
go to the El
you-
Cajon location.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
What
All
about what is it, Roadhouse Grill? What's that one? Isn't that? It's pretty country. And they got
That's
them
about
rolls.
As cowboy as I think that's about as cowboy as I think we get as a group. Let's go to the Roadhouse. That's like
But if
That's
we roll
awesome.
in full cowboy gear, God, that'd be awesome.
no
Yeah, they'll
stress
respect us more.
whatsoever. We should get a horse too. We should all go in on a horse.
I'm
Well,
in. I'm in.
Listen, I'm whatever you want to do. Saddle up, partner. Listen, good luck with Yuki Matsui. Good luck with Mike and the gang out there with the pods. We're going to be concentrating on our scheduling with you on the Boot Barn visit and then dinner to follow, buddy. Thank you for your time as always on the show. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Talk to you later.
Love
There
you.
he goes.
Bye.
Kevin Acey. We love you. He never says it back. That's fine.
That's weird.
It's Big Rich TD.
Yeah.
and
He actually
Fletch.
just said it to me in the phone,
Oh, he
What-
did?
what?
but he just said just me.
Wow. Are we supposed to play a close?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
hang
yeah,
on,
yeah,
hang
yeah.
on,
Hang
yeah.
on, hang on.
Whoa,
We
very
gotta do
important.
this. Yeah.
Whoop.
You're not kidding. It's a fan favorite here on the show as well. Okay, so listen, we have a lot to look forward to. Apparently tomorrow is National Burrito Day, and we're going to celebrate it the only way we know how, with our boy Dom and Javier for Sombreros Mexican Food for some delicious burritos on National Burrito Day. Also, coming up next, we got Bottom of the Barrel. We'll close out this show. But before we do any of that, guys, I want to talk to you about my biceps.
Yeah.
I've been admiring them all show long.
Yeah.
Look at these things.
I've been admiring. Whoa. But J-Riff, have you been to the Man Zone?
Wait, what?
Wow.
Are you going too?
Are you going?
I don't have
If
great,
you want to look like me, go to the Man Zone.
if you have better lighting, but I'm telling you, I got definition in places I didn't used to. Check this out. Look at this tricep. It looks like a horse kicked me in the back of the arm. Yeah, see that?
Wow.
I got all three of the tricep muscles. 1, 2, 3. Okay, listen, guys, and I am talking about the guys in the audience.
Mhm.
If you want to go somewhere to get your testosterone boosted and start building muscle better, you got to get to the Man Zone. It's over at Golden Triangle Plastic Surgery. Your medical director at the Man Zone, Dr. Roy David, he's a double board certified plastic surgeon, but his focus with the Man Zone is to get guys right. Now, how is he going to do that? With testosterone. And I mean it when I say it. So at 37 years old, you'd say, hey, Rich, former NFL player, you're not a candidate for testosterone treatment. You couldn't have been any wrong if you tried. I needed it. Okay, I was about a pint low. And after checking the engine with the dipstick, old Dr. Roy David was like, buddy, let's fill her up. And I said, yes, please.
You grab the quart and glug, 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 glug.
That's right.
We got to run it smooth.
We got all the kinks ran. Okay, so if you, like me, have been waking up feeling sluggish, a little brain fog, feeling a little lethargic, you're not getting it done in the gym anymore the way you like to, you're not seeing the results from the gym. That's really frustrating. Like when you're going to the gym and you're like, oh, I'm trying to lose this weight, or oh, I'm trying to look better, for the summer season. We're about to get to bathing suits again. It's like it's not working. It's probably a testosterone problem. So if you're in your 40s, your 50s, or your 60s, you absolutely need to go to the Man Zone once a year to get your testosterone checked. And if you're low, I highly recommend getting on testosterone replacement therapy. If you haven't gotten your testosterone checked and you're in your late 30s, you should go. Because I went, and to my surprise and to Dr. Roy David's surprise, I was a little bit low. I was on the low average range. We've boosted it up since. And again, just here's the biceps.
Good
now, nobody
Lord.
can see it, but I am
I
flexing
can
into
see
the
it.
microphone.
I can see it.
I mean, can you hear the strain of the muscle?
I hear the strain of your shirt, like kink, 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 kink.
It's
Trying to hold
unbelievable.
on.
It sounds like a suspension bridge. Just, I mean, out there. Well, listen, the point is, I don't know much about
Too soon,
fabrics,
too soon.
but I know about testosterone, and I know that it's treating me right. It needs to treat you well as well. Check out themanzone.com. That's themanzone.com.
We got a $50 Islands gift card for you coming up in mere minutes. Next.
All right, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on a Wednesday. We got to wrap things up really quick here. Normally, to finish out the show, we go to bottom of the barrel. And by the way, keep listening for your opportunity to win that Islands $50 gift card. We're going to be giving that away in just moments here. But before we finish the show and getting out of the way at bottom of the barrel, J-Riff, you've laid down the gauntlet. You have a challenge for TD and myself.
Yeah, I have an initiative to try and expand all of our sports interests. And so because you guys have explained that women's basketball hasn't done much for you, I have made a trade-off to try and get you into it. If you guys watch both Final Four games on Friday, women's Final Four games, the next time I am on this show, I will be shirtless.
Wait, both games?
You have to watch both games.
In its entirety?
As much as you can prove to me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You know what?
I will have trivia questions.
I'm in. Wait, trivia questions? If I watched it intently and took notes, I don't know if I could answer trivia questions.
Yeah, if we watch, that's also, if we watch in full, I want full frontal. I don't want just shirt.
It's just a blur on the stream.
Yeah. We don't have an HR department anymore. That means we can just have you just straight to the skivvies, bub.
Look,
yeah,
I'm in. You in?
I'm in.
Okay,
let's do it.
We're in. Caller number 7, 877-767-4760 right now. You're going to win a $50 gift card to Islands. Big thanks to Kevin AC, the Hangers, the Bangers, the Roadies, the Dogs, Richie out in Dallas. Appreciate you, buddy. We'll do it again tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, it sounds good. The Herd is next. San Diego Sports 760.